Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike and T-Roy. Hello, T.
Hey, buddy.
How are you, pal?
I'm good. You should let that go a little longer today.
Right?
Yeah.
Except it doesn't,
Well, I know there's vocals in it.
you know, I've got it just as an instrumental, but yeah.
I
it's,
know. Just
rough
a-
day, good day, but yeah. Thoughts and prayers, all that stuff, and we mean it today. Tapas, you were usually smart-assy about, but today is our boy Zach Blastow's birthday.
Happy birthday, buddy.
And he has missed more every day. He's the one responsible for this intro music. He's the guy that convinced me to start a podcast and leave radio. When I was compiling equipment, Zach was like, "Dude, you don't need anybody else. Go do your thing. Go fucking make it work." And I was like, "You think?" He's like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah. You got the equipment. Build your studio.
Yeah.
Let's go. And I was like, fuck it. You know, it was over beers at 3 a.m. over here. We'd be fucking rocking our asses off. God, I miss him, man. Such a sweet guy, such a humble guy. You know, he was one of those dudes. When I first moved to Farmington Hills from Livonia, I didn't know many people.
Yep.
My first day in school, you shoved me into a locker. I knew some people from the soccer team, but Zach was a year older. And knew him mostly from music, seeing his band, Blackwater Station, play, and they were getting quite a following around here, Kalamazoo, big in Kalamazoo. They had a really big following there, so we'd go out to Kalamazoo and see them.
Hell yeah.
They'd fucking tear it up. You see those old videos of like, you know, the Seattle scene. And it'd be like, those were bigger, obviously. Those guys were doing theaters. But when you see those old bar shows,
Yeah.
people going
They all
nuts,
started
jumping
somewhere.
up. Yeah. And it was kind of like that, where it was like, this place is literally packed. Packed with kids. And none of us are 21 yet. You know, Zach's probably 19. And, you know, he was a rock star almost then, you know. Chicks would walk up and drop shots at his feet on the stage. You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah. Handsome son of a bitch.
Handsome son of a bitch, could sing his ass off. Totally in that style that was blowing up.
Yeah.
It should have gone further than it did. You know, they were opening for Sponge in Kalamazoo a few times, and we were all really proud of those guys. And they were young and talented. And I remember talking to Zach, and I don't even remember how. He might have still been living at his parents' house. And he was like, "Yeah, so you play the drums?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, a little bit." He's like, "Why don't you bring a kid over and we'll fucking jam?" And I remember going over to his parents' this beautiful house, setting up like a kick drum, snare drum, hi-hat, crash, and a floor tom in the living room. And here I am jamming with this fucking dude who's amazing. And I had no business. But he was such a cool guy and so welcoming. Like, I didn't really know anybody, and he just kind of was like, "Yeah, man, cool." And we'd drive around in his car. He had some little sports car, and he'd be singing to everything. And I'd want to turn the radio off and just hear Zach sing. He was that fucking good, that talented.
No doubt.
And, you know, I'll never forget the day we lost him. It breaks my heart to this day. He was just such a sweet, genuine, funny guy, super talented. And, Beth texted me this morning, was like, "Hey, I'm bringing a cake and a beer, some of his favorite chips, and I'm going up to the grave," which is right here in Franklin.
Yeah, right down the street.
So I went over there, and she and I sat there for a while and just talked about Zach, and brought Cece and Izzy and Babu, and they were chilling out, and it was cool, man. It was cool. She brought his favorite cake, which she sucks at making. You know, she makes the ugliest fucking cake, this strawberry frosting, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
He liked it. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters. But it's the ugliest shit you've ever seen. It's just like, really? What the hell did you do to that thing? You know, I don't know what she's doing, but she's not the greatest cook. She's fine. And she cooks weird shit now, so it's even weirder. But
vegan, I'm sure.
Yeah, all that kind of fun stuff. But it was
make
great.
A cake without an egg.
Huh?
How do you make a cake without an egg?
Right. She probably made it for Zach, and so, you know. I don't know how vegan she is. She's more vegetarian now. I think it's kind of, she goes through spurts. Like when I met her, she was still eating chicken and fish and that kind of stuff. So we could fucking do chicken. But yeah, it was really cool to go up and just sit there with Zach, and, you know, had brought his beer. He was, what is it, Sierra Nevada?
Yep.
Is that the one that's got a green label?
It is.
Brown bottle? Yeah. That was his favorite beer. And it's, the memories pop up in my Facebook, and I'm like, fuck, man, I can't believe it's been so many years. And I could picture him standing right there, and I'd have to hide the camera somewhere in the room because he didn't want to be filmed. He was like, dude, let's just, and I was like, yeah, no problem. And I had like a ping pong table in here, and I'd set the little camera up here and just record from afar, and then he'd catch wind of it and be like, bro, and I'm like, dude, some of this has to be captured. And I had hundreds of videos, of him playing acoustic and singing and all that kind of stuff. But I can honestly say this show would not exist without his input. He was a super smart guy, super funny, and I miss him more every day, man. I really do. And I know everyone that knew him adored Zach Plastow, and rest in peace, brother. We miss you. And, I'll bring the drumsticks, you bring the guitar, and hopefully we meet up somewhere in the cosmos one day, man.
Somewhere down the line.
That's my dream, man. I'd give anything for one more jam session. It's just one of those things, man, when you're kind of just going through this life and you take shit for granted, and, who those friends are that are really special.
Yep.
There's only a handful that come into your life that really hit you different, that it when you're around it, and some come and go, and but special ones keep coming back, and this and that, and it's just, I don't know when our last jam session was. When was the last time we were down here at 3 a.m? We were always here because I was alone.
Yeah.
So, and there's enough distance between houses, I could fucking wail on those drums, and he could crank up the amp, and we just have a blast, man. Just the two of us, just have a fucking blast down here, and it sucks. He's when you talk about gone too soon, man, there's that description doesn't fit anyone better than Zach Plastow.
That's the truth.
For sure, man.
Very fitting.
Yeah, and you're one of those guys too, man. Like, we had that cassette back in the day and literally wore it out, playing those songs, and it's the highlight. And we won't spend too much time on it. And I've talked about a lot of this before, but when I was in a band with Zach, I had a lot of the surviving members of Blackwater Station, were in that band. Bruce Niblett, John McKenzie, Zach Plastow, were the main dudes in that band. You're talking about lead, rhythm, guitar, Zach on acoustic and lead vocals, and John's a great singer too. And he had come back from Denver to join Gift Horse, which was our band, and Zach was never really thrilled with that cassette that they put out. It brought back some bad memories. He had fallout with the guys at the time who didn't think he was taking it seriously enough as a vocalist, and so there was some shit there. And I really think the guys in the band were wrong. That the real talent in that band was Zach Plastow. Period. End of story.
Yep.
Your lead vocalist was your guy. No offense, but he just was. And so I talked to him about those songs that he'd written. He and Mackenzie wrote most of them, but when you talk about the song that kicks off our show, Heavy Skeleton, Zach wrote that, and he was a great writer. Better than his age should have been. Instead of writing about pussy and fucking getting hammered, he was writing about real shit.
Yeah.
He was a poet, and but he wasn't thrilled with a lot of that stuff, and he got more mature as a writer and better as a vocalist as he got older. And I always felt like I didn't belong. But he was my guy. He was my buddy, and we'd fucking play together all the time. And in this band, we had a lot of fun. I cherish those memories. But the one day, we were down in his basement, and I don't know how it came up, but either Niblett or Mackenzie started playing that riff. And then I was just like, fuck. And I just jumped in with the drum beat, do my best. I'll wing this. And then fucking Zach, man, just started belting it out. The song, Heavy Skeleton. It was just like, holy shit. I'm like in Blackwater Station.
Nice.
Right? This is unbelievable. It's the only time he ever fucking performed one of those tunes around me, and we played 1,000 times down here and stuff like that. He never played those songs. But that one day in that one practice on a whim, never played it before, never played it again, but it was just like, holy shit.
You were there for that moment.
I was there for that moment, and I got to play in that moment, and I'll cherish it forever, man. I wish it was recorded.
Yeah.
I probably would have fucked it all up on drums, but still, it was, fuck everybody. It's my moment. I enjoyed it. So, yeah, sad but happy day remembering, good times with good friends, and, it's a damn shame. So that he's gone, but we miss him, adore him. And anyway, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good, I suppose.
Yeah. You know, we're getting kind of a late start here. I thought we were going to do early shows this week with T-Roy off work,
I don't
and
know.
it's like,
I'm
whatever.
Enjoying my week off, I guess.
Dude, take it. Yeah. Enjoy it. Run with it. I am too. I'm like, oh, God, you know, Troy's got to go to, and I'm like, no, he doesn't.
Nope.
He doesn't have to go to bed early tonight. He can sit up and watch TV, play poker,
yes, sir.
Hang with the dogs. We can do a damn show at midnight if we want.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No rules, no boss.
No rules, no boss. I love it. There's nothing better. So, yeah, we're getting a little later start. No big deal.
I won't tell if you won't.
I won't. Not a word. Not a word. What's going on in the world? Let's see. We've got Bronny James, LeBron's kid.
Okay.
Bronny.
LeBaron's kid.
Yeah, LeBaron's kid, who's just the biggest asshole on planet Earth. But other than that, you know, his kid had a heart attack today or yesterday.
Like legit?
Yeah, went into cardiac arrest.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, at USC, he's a Trojan.
Yeah.
Now
Going to be going into his freshman year, right?
Yeah.
He just committed.
Yeah, he took that broad to prom last year. We saw the pictures, and he was getting his dick kicked in for that.
I don't remember that one.
Oh yeah. She's smoking hot. She's a knock, obviously.
White girl.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. That's why he was getting his dick kicked in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He didn't find a black queen. It's like, yeah, first opportunity he got.
Queens come in all shapes and sizes.
Do they?
Yeah.
Not to the black ladies out there. Black ladies find it highly offensive when black guys get successful and then some would say trade up, trade in for their white queen.
All I'm saying is you might have to take a look in the mirror and find out why that is. I don't have that answer.
Right.
But I think they do.
Yeah. There's enough of them. And I thought it was funny because I'm reading this story and I was like, oh yeah, I totally remember that story now. And there she is in her strapless, you know, black sequin dress. And it's like, yeah, of course that's who he took in Los Angeles to his prom. She's a fucking absolute 10. And they say, oh yeah, trolls launch an attack at Bronny over, they were not happy with his decision to take someone who is light-skinned to prom. I'm like,
really light skinned.
like blue-eyed, blonde-haired, light-skinned. Am I mistaken, or isn't usually when they talk about light-skinned, they're talking about someone with like a black dad and a white mom?
Yeah, it's generally
like Steph
exactly.
Curry.
Yeah, you are a African American,
Light-skinned.
but with light-skinned, light-skinned.
Yeah. No. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she's just a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white chick. Unless I'm mistaken. Let's see, what the hell was her name?
Oh my God, smokes.
Peyton Galfuso, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, you seeing her there?
Yeah.
Yeah, does that look like a light skin to you?
No.
Or does that just look like he straight up grabbed a white broad?
I mean, it's just very, very, very light skin.
Yeah. Like blinding so. Like it's hard to look at. She's so light-skinned.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I can see your privilege from here.
Yes. So he's 18 now, was rushed to the hospital following this incident during a training session at SC's Gallon Center. He's now in stable condition. He's been released from intensive care. I don't think that means released from the hospital, though.
Probably not. No, yeah.
Intensive care is where they go when you need intensive care.
When you're dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they stabilize you, you go get yourself a room for a couple of days.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, they're talking cardiac arrest, like collapsed on the court, which is very weird for an 18-year-old athlete to go through. Yeah. They said yesterday while practicing, Bronny suffered a cardiac arrest. Medical staff was able to treat Bronny and take him to the hospital. He's now unstable, no longer in ICU. We asked for respect and privacy for the James family. We'll update the media when there's more information. LeBron and Savannah wish to publicly send their deepest thanks and appreciation to the SC medical and athletic staff for their incredible work and dedication to the safety of their athletes. Bronny was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance after a 911 call was made at 9:26 a.m. on Monday. That's going to cost him. LeBron's going to have to fork over a G at least, right?
What, for the ambulance ride?
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine.
You think so? Well, I know he's a billionaire now, so he'll probably be all right, but they're still going to bill him for that, right?
Yeah, he's going to have to.
No free rides.
There's no free rides.
Yeah.
Does it say in that story whether or not he got the jab?
Well, I was wondering something similar.
I'm curious. I mean, just for research purposes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he did get the jab.
Did he?
Which is weird
Hanging
because
out with his buddy Milo,
yeah. Who's Milo?
carditis.
Oh yeah. It's not lost on us. I think LeBron was one of the ones pushing everybody to get the jab. He was one of those.
Remember something about that?
Yeah, shaming a lot of
being right out
people.
in front on that. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people were like that. Thought they knew everything, and there were some real issues with myocarditis, swelling of the heart, I believe that was, and seeing teenage boys specifically collapse on fields all over the country that didn't get reported on very much, but it happened a lot.
Yeah.
And whether you want to go down that road and say there's a connection, when you see 1,000%, 2,000% increase in heart issues with teenage boys post jab,
I mean, there could be some correlation there, but I'm no
some
doctor.
people could make that.
I'm no expert.
No, me either. And there's a lot of stupid doctors out there too.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, we have Lord Fauci to tell us that
Sure.
there's nothing wrong and everything's fine.
Yeah.
And there's no correlation.
And
there,
Lord Gates as well. Don't forget
yeah,
Lord Gates.
Right. So, end of conversation.
Lord Gates now is pushing the nasal spray. He cashed out his, from what I understand, Bill Gates cashed out his investment in the vaccines. And while none of you were allowed to go to work, he cleared $500 million in profit, sold his stock, and is now invested in nasal spray.
Oh, next.
Yeah. So that's the next thing that's going to be really pushed on you.
Here
is
it comes.
These
Get
nasal
ready.
sprays. So Bill Gates can continue to,
Fuck kids. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud?
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, it's possible. We just don't know. I mean, I don't know what you would do at Epstein Island besides fuck little kids, but I don't know. Maybe he's really into paddleboarding.
It's possible. It's possible.
And
Maybe they got a great pickleball court over there.
yeah,
Who
it's
knows?
possible. And we also know, as far as he goes, he was only meeting the dozens of times for dinner with Epstein. Bill Gates was. Because of he just wanted help with philanthropic ventures.
Yeah, he's just raising money.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
of
he
course.
was only he was, but I don't think he is today the richest man in the world.
No, he had his moment. Yeah.
He had his moment, but
He's
it's
still
not-
right up there.
He is. He's top 5, I believe, richest men on planet Earth. But that doesn't mean he doesn't need a little philanthropic help
Exactly.
from people like Epstein. You take the good, you take the bad. We know that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take a kid fucker if you want to get that cash to just save the world. Mm-hmm. That's all Bill Gates wants to do is save the world.
He is. Is he a saint yet?
He should be if he's not. I mean, he is. He does perform miracles. So, yeah, it's too bad. People will not have that discussion openly about LeBron's kid.
No. No. You're not even allowed to ask the question, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I would think people would be looking really hard into why an 18-year-old super athlete would collapse in cardiac arrest on the court.
Yeah.
That to me, you would go, huh? Was there anything he did different than what normal 18-year-olds have been doing? Why are these kids collapsing across fields across the country?
We'll just never know, Michael.
We'll just never know.
We'll just never know.
And the sad part to me is, even if they absolutely know, which some doctors claim they absolutely know that this is a problem, they'll never admit it. And
course
we'll
not.
just go on with our lives.
Of course not. They will bury it till the end of time.
And while LeBron is a supreme prick on just about every level, judgy, fucking entitled, privileged cunt that he is, I wish no ill will to his son.
No, absolutely
at all.
not. Nor to him, really.
No, honestly, I mean that too.
I wouldn't cry over an ACL.
No,
No. But, that's just comes with the territory.
Is there a guarantee his kid's going to be the next LeBron James, by the
No,
way?
absolutely not.
Because I remember watching Joe Montana's kids play quarterback, one of them at Notre Dame. I believe it was Nate Montana.
It generally does not work out as well.
Yeah, there's the Ken Griffey's and the Barry Bondses of the world who follow in Papa's footsteps and do really well.
And do even better.
Yeah. But
That's rare.
Bronny, they claim in this story, is 6'3". I'm pretty sure he's closer to 6'2". His dad towers over him. So whatever white bitch or, light-skinned queen LeBron married, I don't know who his wife is, but
I'm pretty sure she's black.
is she? I think you're right. As I was saying that, I think you're right.
I remember watching them smoke a blunt or something at a
Oh, cool.
game a while ago.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember that video coming out.
At a game, like
Yeah,
in a
he was
box
like in a box
or
or something. Like the camera hit him as they were like hitting. Like he had just like passed it to her, I think, and then she was hitting it, and he looked up and he saw it on the jumbotron. He was like, "Put this shit down. Put this shit down."
Yeah, yeah. Is that even illegal? I don't think they're testing for that in the NBA anymore, right?
I have no idea.
Hasn't that changed? I thought that recently changed, that they're not like going after guys, because that used to be a big thing in the NFL and NBA, because literally everyone in the NBA was smoking weed.
Yeah, of course. Well, Josh Gordon. It's a great example of that.
Yes, the receiver.
Yeah, I mean, essentially ruined the guy's career.
Ricky
the league
Williams
did, over weed.
Yeah.
But
kept suspending him and suspending him, suspending him.
If anybody,
he was special too, man.
He was. He
that I don't
was.
know where his trajectory would have
I
gone
don't
if
either.
it would have
We'll
continued.
never know. But he absolutely had the potential to be real special.
Yeah,
And,
one of those generational kind of talents.
I'm all for performance enhancing drugs in whatever form that may be.
Right.
But I promise you, weed is not
Ain't
performance
one of
enhancing. Performance enhancing on any level.
You would think, and I can't remember who it was, what athlete it was, who was drinking or drugging. He was doing blow, I think. And it was a Sports Illustrated article 2 decades ago, years ago. And he was talking about how much he finally was like, okay, the league is going to kick me out if I don't knock this off. And so he flat quit, and played another 10, 15 years in the NFL. Played all those years, and the day he retired was like, I could not wait to go get fucked up on blow and all that. Like, he was counting down the days to his final.
I have to do this for now, but the second I don't have to.
As soon as I'm done, fuck this.
Who was it? Was it Doc Ellis? Why is that name coming up? To pitch the no-hitter on
acid?
On LSD?
Was it Doc Ellis? I don't remember, but yeah, he wasn't supposed to pitch that day, dropped acid, and then went out there and threw a no-hitty. yeah. That happened, for real. Ricky Williams, I don't remember his
Sticky
career.
Ricky.
Yeah, his career got sideways because of weed, too. He was one of the first ones to be like, fuck you.
Well, he was very openly pro-weed. I can't remember how, whether his suspensions or anything like that came up for, I don't remember the details of that one as well as I do the Gordon stuff.
I remember that being a real problem for him.
Yeah, because Gordon, I mean, he got suspended for a whole year.
But then it'd be like mid-season to get suspended for 8 games. Yeah. Like, he missed. I think he's still trying to play too. Didn't he play for like New England last year or something?
He's been bouncing around. I think he was on. He was in one of those USFL or XFL. He was on one of those rosters this year.
That's gotta. I gotta think, when you've got that kind of talent level, and Josh Gordon will never know. But the games we saw him in, it looked like this dude could dominate that position for a decade. Like one of those guys. You think Randy Moss, you think Terrell Owens, like those types of dudes. Whether he would have ever been there's probably NFL fans going, you're crazy. But that's what I saw when I saw him play.
Yeah.
You got to think, when you're in the XFL at his age and you're bounced from the NFL, and even seeing him play in the NFL a year or two ago, it was like, yeah, he's a fraction of what he should have been. I wonder how much those guys look back with regret, that like, it might have been a stupid rule, but it was the rules, and all I had to do was just knock this shit off for a few years while I was playing, make my $200 million, and go down in the record books as one of the great. Like, he had that kind of talent, and
for sure,
you got to think that those guys do have regrets, from those decisions. Anyways, going back to LeBron's kid, Bronny, thank God Bronny is black, and therefore he can't be privileged, too.
Oh,
which is nice.
That's right.
He doesn't.
That is fortunate.
Yeah. So it's not like, oh, he's privileged, Bronny, this and that. I mean, as a black American, he's just, he's fighting a good fight, just going through the struggle every day. So.
Just a kid playing ball, man.
Yep. Trying to make his own way and get out of the ghetto, probably, So I don't know. LeBron's goal, I think, has been widely believed to be he wants to continue playing in the NBA till Bronny makes a league. He wants to be kind of like Griffey Jr. and Sr.
Okay.
Where
the Gordy and what was Gordy's kid name?
Mark Howe?
Was it Mark? Yeah.
Mark Howe was, I believe it was Mark Howe.
They got to play together.
Yeah. Did Barry never played with his dad, did he? But Griff Jr. and Sr. did. And so LeBron is like, I don't care if we're on the same team or if we're going against each other. I can understand how that would be kind of cool. I just don't know. The hype around LeBron was incredible. He was one of those kids go right from high school to the pros, first overall pick, and then his career speaks for itself. Don't know about Bronny. He's much shorter. You think Steph Curry at 6'3" is short? Bronny's shorter than that.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's got the drive or the talent that his dad has, that he's a guarantee to make the NBA. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Time will tell.
But it wasn't like, oh, yeah, damn these rules. He's got to spend 1 year at SC before he can make the jump. Maybe he's one of those kids. I don't know. I just don't know enough about him.
Nope.
Good-looking kid, though.
Yeah.
And I wish him nothing but the best, man. Cardiac arrest does not sound good at all.
Well, even if he doesn't make the league, he'll be set for life, so it doesn't
think?
really matter.
I mean, that's his dad's $1 billion. I don't know if that, how much of that is going to give to old Bronny.
All his.
Especially when he disappoints dad by not making it to the league. You know what I mean? What a
Disowns him.
disappointment. Yeah. That would suck. That'd be like, you might as well be Todd Marinovich's dad. Kid. You know what I mean?
Tough, yeah.
Your dad won't let you eat a Big Mac your entire fucking life.
It was brutal.
Kid makes the league and flames out immediately. You know?
Marinovich.
He was a redhead, right? Wasn't Marinovich a redhead? So he was soulless to begin with.
Right.
There's that.
Oh, I'm thinking Tony Mandrich.
There's another one.
Yeah, that was what I was picturing in my head.
No. Raiders
Yes.
quarterback, Todd Marinovich. Was he SC? I think he was SC. As a quarterback,
right.
lefty.
I think so, yeah.
And I believe he was a soulless ginger,
Okay.
if not mistaken. But the famous article that came out in SI before the draft, I never had a Big Mac. I was like, holy shit, what's this kid's dad doing to him?
Not let him eat Big Macs.
Yeah. The movie Barbie was released.
Oh, good. We watched that trailer. It looked so amazing.
So amazing, right?
Yeah.
I think we at least I did, and I meant it. Like, well, it looks like an original story.
You're
Like,
right.
I give it that.
Yep.
I was never a Barbie fan. Obviously, it wasn't marketed to me as a kid. My sister wasn't a big Barbie fan. I don't know if yours was.
Nope, not really.
I was talking to the warden about it. She's got some, her shitbag family and shitty dad gave her like every Christmas a Barbie, and she fucking hated Barbie. If you know the warden at all, she despises shit like Barbie. So she still has these things in the boxes and stuff, but there were plenty of girls who were not fans. But it looked like an original thing, and I like, what's his name playing Ken? Ryan, is it one of the
Ryan
Ryans?
Gosling?
Yeah, Ryan Gosling. I think he's talented. He cracks me up sometimes. And
Wait, who's
Margot Robbie
Yeah, Margot Robbie. That's it, right?
is absolutely spectacular. She's great in Babylon. I finally watched that with Brad Pitt. Great cast in that. If anyone has HBO or Max, as it's called now, you can watch that 3-hour movie about early Hollywood, going from silent pictures to talkies, as they call them in Hollywood.
That's that kind of all right, now I know what you're talking about.
It's great. The music's great in it, and the story is good. Margot Robbie's great in it. Brad Pitt is great in it, so worth it. But
2 thumbs up.
yeah. Mainstream media is flipping out about Barbie, though. Apparently, it's so woke, and it's so, Ben Shapiro's flipping out, Candace Owens.
Oh boy,
People-
what they do now?
Well, they hate the movie. Now, I give Ben credit. I think he went and saw it.
Okay.
Candace Owens didn't. She read a review from someone she trusts, and that was enough.
All right.
So,
Do your own research.
yeah, she was not enthused about the film's extreme feminist messaging. Candace had her opinion on the comedy. She explained why she had no interest in seeing it. Obviously, if you're listening to this podcast, one of the things that I really hate is that we're living in a world that is increasingly anti-man. Yeah, I feel that too.
I feel that strongly, yes.
I still feel like you can treat us like Bruce Banner all you want, but at some point, the Hulk can and will come out.
Sure.
If necessary, right? So, like, you can push Dr. Banner around all you want. So this anti-man, I am woman, hear me roar thing is kind of adorable on some level, because at the end of the day, the Hulk can make an appearance if need be.
Well, wasn't there a She-Hulk that twerked?
Sure.
There was a twerking attorney, if I remember correctly.
Sure.
That sounds.
Didn't they have a bat
must-see
bitch
TV.
too? Didn't Batman have a bat bitch and they canceled that before it even came out? They were like, yeah, this is such a joke.
I think so, yeah.
I think it was bat bitch, right? Bat twat, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
She bat, something.
Something like that. It never made it to air.
Yeah. So she continues, while we are pretending that women are suffering under the foot of the patriarchy, what's actually happening is that toxic feminism has risen to the top and is actually oppressing men with movements that make entirely no sense. I agree with her there. You know, the Women's March is my favorite example. There was just a crybaby hissy fit in D.C. with 1 million strong women in pink pussy hats.
Yeah.
And I remember asking, like, anybody,
What was the point of the pussy hat, by
that's
the way?
what I asked everybody.
Yeah.
Like, can somebody explain what are we? Usually, there's something like, oh, you knelt on a black dude until he died, and so we're out here showing our disdain, and we're going to torch the city.
It's just because they have pussies, so they had hats to show that?
I guess no one's been able to explain the Women's March to me, and I don't. You know, I have no idea what it was, but they were angry and they weren't going to take it anymore.
Mad as hell. We're not going to take it
Yeah, yeah, and so you know they dressed up as Betty whatever from
White?
Rivet.
Oh, Rosie the Riveter?
Rosie the Riveter. They'd dress up as her. They'd put on pussy hats. They'd cry. They'd scream into their pillow. They'd curse the skies.
Was that just because Trump was elected?
Yeah,
And
it was
he
like 2 days after
He grabbed
was
women
sworn
by
in.
the pussy?
Sure. This pussy grabs back, I think, or something like that was some of the signs.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
By the way, if you're being honest with yourself, he said when you're famous, they let you grab him by the pussy. And I will tell you,
he's not wrong.
as he's not wrong. And as someone who was on the smallest level of local, you know, like people would know who you were level, celebrity, I put that in quotes, serious giant quotes, trust me, they let you grab them by the pussy. You know, so when you're at that level, billionaire, Donald Trump level, ask anybody in the media, or not the media, anybody in any form of celebrity, if that's a true statement, they're being disingenuous if they say no. Period. End of story. You might not like to hear that, but it's true. It's very, very true.
It's a voluntary act.
Yeah. Owens went on to give a few examples, including actor Jonah Hill's ex-girlfriend who accused him of emotional abuse and posted private text messages. Did you catch that story? I was in Arizona when that dropped.
I know she was whining about it, but I didn't read any of it.
I did.
To see if it was worth it or not.
I think Jonah Hill, in his case, he's skinny fat now. He lost a lot of weight, but he's always, he's forever going to be the fat kid who was picked on, laughed at, bullied, all that kind of stuff. No matter how much money he's made, no matter how famous he is, no matter how many big celebrity movies he's been in, he's still that kid. He sees himself as that fucking fat kid. So he starts dating a professional surfer, some hot blonde, and she releases the text messages. So they've broken up. He's since gone on to a new chick, and I think he knocked her up and whatever. So this girl's like, I'm not going to take it being told what to wear and how to dress by men, blah, 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 blah. And she releases, and it's one of them, she was on like some surf website or something, and he's like, can you ask him to take that picture of with your ass hanging out down? Like he's bitching at her, and it's like, dude, this is not going to go well.
Yeah.
What are you doing? She's in a surf competition in a fucking bikini, dude. She's a pro surfer. You can't honestly be asking her to take those pictures
And
down.
you can't even be, I mean, what is that? Is that a jealousy thing? Is that an insecurity thing? Like, I can't have my girlfriend's ass out there, everybody looking at it. Like, trust me, dude, everybody looks at your girl's ass.
Yeah.
Just be glad that it's your girl's ass.
Right.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you won.
And having these conversations like, I don't know how many times I have to tell you, but if you're going to live this lifestyle, I just can't be with it. And so some people were like, look, he's being honest with her. That's not what he's into. It's not his thing. Well, then just fucking go, dude.
Yeah.
Move on. You don't need to shit on her and tell her what she's wearing is inappropriate. How would you like it if a girl told you what you were wearing was inappropriate? Like, you wouldn't. You'd be like, shut up. All right? No, don't tell me what jeans to wear. And what. Same thing. I get it. Her ass is hanging out, but she's a pro surfer.
Ass is always hanging out.
Yeah, she's all over Hawaii and big waves, and you know, I mean that's going to happen. So that one, I think she was accusing him of emotional abuse and all this kind of stuff. I think he's trying to make up for the fact that he's a fat guy who was bullied and picked on and laughed at, and he still sees himself that way.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got some insecurities.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah, he finally got himself a fucking 10.
Yeah.
doesn't know how to handle it.
Yeah, that's a tough transition, man.
Sure.
When you've been dealing with 9s and 10s your whole life, look, going from one to the next is, you get used to it.
Right.
It's fun. When you have not had access to that pool at all, and then you do,
First time you could do a cannonball.
yeah, yeah, you might get a little overwhelmed, and I'm assuming Jonah's a little overwhelmed.
Probably.
And so we're gonna write that off as not some giant patriarchy moment.
Yeah.
We're just gonna for what it is. Also, someone named Bebe Rexa who reacted badly to her ex admitting she gained weight. So she must have posted private messages. So this is talking about shaming men.
Yeah.
So are you allowed to point out if your girl starts getting a big old fat ass and you got with her and she was hot? I know kids are a different element. That's going to do shit to the woman's body. That's never going to go back to its normal. But
I mean, you're allowed to address it, of course. Why wouldn't you be able to?
I don't know. It sounds like you'd be a pig. That's
I mean, there's different ways of addressing it.
yeah.
There's-
Have you ever addressed something like that with a girl? I don't think I have, but I've never dated a fat ass.
No,
So
I mean the wife was the only one that got big.
she didn't
on
get
me.
that big though, did she?
Bigger.
Bigger, yeah.
But that's my fault for picking a Mexican. They're
Yeah.
gonna blow up.
Yeah.
It's just inevitable.
Boy, you have your thoughts on the Latinx women.
But yeah, no. You should be able to have a conversation though. I mean, it's one thing if you're like, hey, listen, your ass is getting fat. Fucking lay off the cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
Or if you can have a healthy conversation with each other about putting on weight and
Well, here's
attacking.
Here's the difference between men and women. And some comedian has made that joke about, it might have been Patrice O'Neill talking about, your girl knows more about the meds you're taking than you do, and make sure you're on them. She could have a fucking whole countertop filled with pill bottles. You'd be like, what's wrong, you sick bitch? You got no idea what's going on with her. So if a girl says you're packing on pounds, and I've been there, where I've packed on pounds while I'm dating a girl, and Beth never said anything, negative or anything like that. But if she did address it, because I beat myself up enough, she didn't feel the need to pile on. But if she did, it would have been more of a concern for my health, not about looking hot to be on her arm. If a guy is saying that about his girl, don't you think, and I could be wrong, 9 times out of 10, it's like, man, where's that fucking hot smoke show that I've been dating, and now you're getting this big old fat ass.
It could be both.
It
can be both.
Concerned about her putting on a few pounds, and or is it really like, man, if I'm walking
Well, it
around,
could
I
be
don't
a
want to see.
deeper
I don't
thing.
want my boys to see me on this moped when I've been rolling with a Harley all along.
It could be a lot of things, though. Why'd you stop trying? Why'd you stop putting in the work? Now that you were in the gym 5 days a week when we started dating. Now you're on the couch eating bonbons. What changed? Why do I get the fucking cottage cheese ass?
I didn't ask for this. I didn't order this.
No.
Yeah, there's probably a way, although women aren't stupid. And so, well, some are, but not all of them. And they're going to see through if it's like, honey, I'm just concerned about your caloric intake. I worry that it's a stress on your organs. And they can be like, you don't want me to have a fat ass, do you? You think I'm getting a fat ass? You'll never hear the end of it.
No.
You will never hear the end of that.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. Do you want a fat ass? Is that what you're going for?
Yeah. Are we trying for this?
Going for the junk in the trunk? Is that the move? Let me know, because if it's intentional, then okay.
Yeah.
But if it's just fat ass, then
Yeah.
maybe we could do something about it.
Yeah. She said women are frequently, this goes back to Candace Owens, frequently vicious towards men. Some are. I've seen that. No doubt about it. And this behavior is typically applauded in the mainstream as some kind of feminist victory. Owens said she based her decision not to see the film on a review by Sarah Vine, who wrote, I knew I could, so Candace says, I knew I could take her words at face value. She says, so this Ms. Vine, Sarah Vine said, my main objection is that Barbie is not really a film about Barbie at all. It's a 1 hour, 54 minutes of extended misandry. Misandry? I don't know what that is. Dressed.
Oh, like misogyny, but something different?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Misandry. dressed up with a few fun dance routines and one or two, granted fairly decent, jokes. It's a deeply anti-man movie, an extension of all that TikTok feminism that paints any form of masculinity other than the most anodyne. I hate this bitch's writing already.
Yeah, right.
As toxic and predatory, and frames women's liberation not as a movement based on achieving equality between the sexes, but as a cultural revenge vehicle designed to write men out of the story altogether. Every male character is either an idiot, a bigot, or sad, rather pathetic loser. We've seen that for a long time now.
That's been coming down the pipe.
Yeah. Show me the brilliant man that saves the day in any TV commercial. He's always an idiot, who doesn't know where his own forks are in the house, right? He needs his woman to help him find the silverware drawer.
Honey, where's the milk?
He's a total fucking dipshit idiot who couldn't walk out the front door to get to his car without his wife's help. That's usually what we see. But again, man, this is you're beating up Bruce Banner, who at any point could go, all right, enough. And turn to the Hulk. They don't have that. They don't have that ability. So all the squawking and all the, make every man a fucking bigot and idiot and try to demasculate him, whatever. Emasculate him?
Emasculate.
Yeah. You can do all that all you want until the Hulk has finally had enough and then rears his head, which is a weapon you don't have. They don't have in the arsenal. I'm sorry. That's why a lot of this is just kind of like, pat him on the head. Oh, that's adorable.
No.
Yeah, you made a cute chick flick that makes fun of dudes. Cool. Dressed it up in pink and just sold a lot of tickets. So, anyway, Owen said if that's what she's trying to convey. So, the director, let's see, if the roles were reversed and a male director made a film about how all women are hysterical, neurotic, gold-digging witches, it would be denounced quite rightly as deeply offensive and sexist. Candace says if that's what she's trying to convey, that men are either idiots, bigots, or sad, and when they demonstrate any form of masculinity, they must be put back into their boxes by women. I'm just not interested. What's his name? Elon Musk also had a take.
Okay.
So I'm assuming he took one of his kids.
XR4 Ti or whatever.
Yeah, R2D2. Took that. I don't know if it's a man, woman. I think he's got a trans kid too. But
I don't think you can pick it anymore.
Yeah. He says but let's be fair. The movie did 155 million domestically.
Okay.
And over 300 million internationally in opening weekend. That is a huge success. They are in the green and they'll be in the green for a long time. So let's be clear. This was a very successful movie. The advertising was everywhere. You could not turn on your laptop or you couldn't play Candy Crush or any of your games without seeing ads for Barbie. They were incorporating it everywhere. So
honestly, I don't think I saw a single one.
Really? Oh yeah, Candy Crush did a thing. My golf game, or not my golf game. There's a few of them that did it. It was like, Jesus Christ, enough with the
They didn't
pink.
hit my poker site very hard, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. They weren't looking for you.
No.
Pig.
Thank God.
Sad man. So Musk said, he says, if you take a shot every time Barbie says the word patriarchy, you will pass out before the movie ends.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I think it's like 10 times in 45 minutes, unironically.
Really?
Yeah.
Seems overused.
Musk is called the woke mind virus, arguably one of the biggest threats to modern civilization. It just seems to have been in recent years affected by the woke mind virus that makes everything less funny. Woke mind virus is a world without humor. Wokeness basically wants to make comedy illegal. At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. I could not agree more with that.
It's true.
Could not. I would say, ladies, you've been given the keys to the kingdom right now, right? You're on the clock. You've bitched about not being directors. You've bitched about not being producers. If all you're going to do is be like, I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar movies that hate on men or frump up your superstar, how do you make fucking Margot Robbie frumpy?
Yeah.
And why would you? Like, because fuck men. Fuck all men.
That's why.
Yeah, well, that's stupid. You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. There are plenty of actresses that are great out there. Margot Robbie is great. She also happens to be
plenty of great ugly ones.
Yeah,
Frumpy
probably.
ones that you wouldn't even have to make frumpy. They just come out the box that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What they did in Harley Quinn, that should be one of those. you could have made sequel after sequel after sequel with Margot Robbie. And
They killed it.
they killed it in one movie. They took Suicide Squad, and everyone went, oh my God, that might be the hottest chick on planet Earth. And then they frumped her up when they gave her own movie with a female director. What was the point of that?
Yeah, doesn't make sense.
So,
They are women. Hear them roar.
yeah,
So.
I don't know.
They're on the clock. We'll see what they do with it. Hopefully, they don't flame out.
Yeah, yeah. Stop bitching about, I don't know, this idea that you can't just tell a great story, because I fail to believe that women aren't dynamite storytellers. There are women that can tell amazing stories. There are a lot of really shitty storytellers. A lot that don't need to be funny and engaging on any level. They can get by in something else, and that's fine. But there are plenty of J.K. Rowlings out there who are brilliant writers, who can write a story that is as captivating as the Star Wars world is, which she did single-handedly. And it didn't have anything to do with shaming other sexes or trying to get revenge on other sexes. Like, what are we doing? Just tell a great story. Here's what'll happen if you do. If you become the next Ms. Quentin Tarantino, dudes will love your movies too. And then you'll get both of them coming together. And
That'd be amazing.
Then you'll truly have what you're looking for, equality. And you'll be paving the way for future people coming up behind you. If you keep doing this where you just kick the shit out of men and like, I am woman, hear me roar, and drop patriarchy 10 times in 45 minutes, you're going to lose a lot of people for no reason.
That's funny. I can't believe they say it that much.
Yeah. According to Ben Shearer, he said 10 times in 45 minutes.
All right.
Or 53 minutes, something like that. I don't know.
Close enough.
Yeah,
I think more than twice was plenty.
I still sort of want to see it. I don't know. I wouldn't have gone to see it in the theater.
No.
I'm not big into the theater scene.
With your jammies and your blanket.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Then that was just like I had to get out of the house. So my mom was like, oh, let's go. But otherwise, no, I'll wait for. I won't get it on the TV when it's $20 for a rental.
No.
But you wait a couple weeks and it goes for $3 or $3.99, or wait for it to drop on Netflix or HBO or something like that. I'll check it out,
I may or may not even watch it when it's free.
Yeah. No. Actually, Troy, I'd be surprised if you did. Yeah.
Yeah, it has no appeal to me whatsoever.
Well, I want to see it more for the cultural shit, so I know what I'm talking about.
I'd rather go see
more
Sounds of Freedom.
Yeah.
I'd rather go see that.
Love to see that too, which is getting trashed, and I don't know why. I mean, isn't it human smuggling? Isn't that the whole point to it? Is American soldiers trying to stop human smuggling?
Yeah.
Yeah. And people have a problem with this somehow?
I wonder who has a problem with it.
I don't know. It's crazy how that
Yeah.
works.
I don't know. But actually, I want to go see that one.
Yeah, I would like to go see that one as well. Yeah. It's probably too pro-American military and it's too pro-man. White knight syndrome coming in to save the day, as if all military members are white. But it's
I believe it's based on a true story.
probably even worse.
Yeah. So, be odd to manipulate the facts in that.
Yeah.
Right.
I
With
didn't.
new female lead.
I really didn't see that coming either. It was like, hold on. They make a movie about the global injustice catastrophe that is the reality of human sex trafficking, human trafficking, which affects girls and women at a clip not seen in human history before. Why someone shining a light on that? And I think I thought I read that they pop up there how people can help. It needs a lot more light shown on it.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not sure. I'd like to see it so that I can make up my own mind on it. Try and understand what the fuss is about, I guess, or where the negativity is coming from.
Well, it's pro-American and pro-American military. And anything that does that is going to have any of the networks hating it. It's going to have any person who considers themselves leftist hating it. And they prove it every day with articles they write. And,
Sure.
So I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to make comment on it yet. But, I want to see it too. We got a pro golfer. You pay more attention to pro golf than I do. That's kind of your go-to. If the
I enjoy a
TV's
nice round of golf, yeah.
If the TV's just blindly on in the background, there's a good chance it's on the Golf Channel with you. Are you familiar with Justin Doden? He's 28 years old.
Not. No.
No, okay. He is from Minnesota, confessed yesterday that he changed his score from a double bogey to a par on the 18th.
Oh, boy.
At the Ottawa Open, he erased his marked 7, replaced it with his 5 after his playing partner had already signed the scorecard.
Ooh,
And
boy.
this put the golfer within the cut line by 1 shot and pushed 13 other guys out of the tournament. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
it's top 50 plus ties that make cuts.
Right.
So where your
what
score
happens,
line-
T, to the guys that don't quite make the cut?
They go home for the weekend and make new money.
No money? No, they get
money.
paid for the first 2 days.
No, not at all. They make new money.
Oh, so they show up on their own dime, play for 2 days,
Yep.
don't make the cut, and can fuck
There's
off.
a handful of guys that have sponsors and get paid shit, but for the most part, and they don't, as far as the purse of the tournament,
yeah.
No, they don't make a dime.
I am here to confess to the biggest mistake I have made in my life to date. I cheated in golf. It's not who I am. I let my sponsors down, let my competitors down, let my family down, let myself down. I pray for your forgiveness. He concluded his tweet with a reference to the Bible verse, John 1:9, which states, for those that don't know, of course I know what it is.
Enlighten me. Yeah.
If we confess our sins, he who is faithful and just will forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness.
Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Let me know how. Was it Monahan? What am I thinking? Bob Monahan's the PGA director.
Oh, yeah.
Am I totally blowing that?
Yeah, it is Monahan. Moynihan.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know how forgiving he is.
Yeah.
You confessing your sins,
That's,
sir.
yeah, that's a real big no-no
Yeah.
in golf. Hit the balls. To want to make the cut so bad, you erase the 7.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to show up the next day like what? How did you think
when
that
they,
was going
when
to
they
play
had to go
out,
back
sir?
and change the graphic on the TV? Like, I thought he was
Wait.
5 over. No?
No?
Oh, okay.
Well,
And this might not be televised. It might be a smaller. I don't know what the hell's going on.
yeah, the
But
Ottawa Open. I don't know.
Sure.
So here's the only problem I really have for this. 'Cause at first, I'd read that much of the story, and I was
Okay.
like, okay, that's pretty cool. Guy did it, went home, reflected on it, and went, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
First off, you're probably going to get caught pulling this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just no, like anybody around there is not going to forget you had a double at the 18th,
Right.
That dropped you out of
Yeah.
the weekend.
Your playing partner that signed your card
Yeah,
for a double on
Yeah.
18, and then all of a sudden, what do you mean you made the cut? Like, the fuck you made the cut?
so that his tweet made it sound like there's this real come to Jesus moment.
He got called out for sure.
2 players were having lunch Friday when they noticed that Doden came in at 3 under on the leaderboard. But one of the players who was partnered with Doden for the round questioned the score when he remembered that he finished with a double bogey, putting him at 1 under. Players notified tournament officials who pulled his scorecard and saw his score of 7 had been shoddily erased and then a 5.
I mean, at least do it right.
Dude, is this like a high school tournament we're doing here where you
Yeah.
could just pull this off and no one's the wiser? Be like, oh, yeah, I got a 4. And everyone goes, okay.
Yeah.
No.
Like the golf outing, the foursomes that come in at 25 under.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen you play,
You guys
sir.
can't even see your shoes. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
Doden withdrew from the tournament as officials investigated his changed scorecard. PGA Tour Canada told Golf.com the matter and any related disciplinary action will be handled internally. So, do you think he has this come to Jesus moment? He's going to shit out a Bible verse for all of us to absorb and forgive him. If those 2 having lunch, one of which was playing with him, don't tell tournament officials, or do you
Absolutely
think he
not.
just saunters into the weekend like nothing?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too.
So when did he get caught? Before the third round? So was the wrong
Friday,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
So
so
I'm assuming.
they were
I don't
able
know.
to make the correction on the score,
Yeah.
plus his penalty, and then get the people that deserve to make the cut into the weekend. I'm hoping.
Guessing so.
right.
So 2 players were having lunch Friday when they noticed. So they're probably in the clubhouse having lunch afterwards, and they're like, "Doden's at 3 under. What are you talking about? He doubled the last one. He was 1 under.
Yeah,
I signed his scorecard." And these guys would remember that.
of course.
So yeah.
Especially if these are guys that didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
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 They're having their
One of
lunch.
the 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a little pissy about that.
Definitely
I
know
can
the difference.
imagine.
You know, and golf is a gentleman's sport. It's an honor system.
Yeah.
So to have somebody make it to that level, to be a professional golfer, you know, these guys do some weird stuff once in a while. Flirt, you know, skirting with the rules on drops and lies and things like that. But for the most part, they get away with as much as they can without breaking the
They
rules.
seem too anal to me.
A lot of it.
When
there.
something's
Well, golf
unplayable
is-
and it's like, drop it here, and if it rolls this way, it's like, oh,
is.
just
That's
throw
golf.
it out there.
Yeah,
Just throw the
that's-
ball out there.
exactly.
Get it within 10 feet. Who cares?
Yeah,
Let's
wow.
go.
So it's a shame that somebody got to that point, but hey, desperation.
Well, what's the saying, T? If you ain't cheating,
You ain't trying.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is this guy just trying extra hard?
Maybe.
Trying his best to make the cut?
Yeah, you should try and make some more putts.
Yeah,
my
exactly.
guess.
How about we don't double the 18?
Yeah, try and
That's-
lose less balls, and you'll be good.
It's got a little choker written
yeah, it
all
does.
over it.
Yeah.
Staring down, making the cut.
Sounds
The
like all you
weekend-
had to do was par 18, and you would have
Yeah.
made the cut, and you came up with a double.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't know your fucking name.
Exactly. He was probably from 17 to 18. He was probably talking to his local Mercedes dealership, like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, you don't remember that car I was looking at a month ago?
Yep.
I'm coming in to pick it up." He was already spending his winnings from the weekend because, while you rightly pointed out that if you don't make the cut, you don't make $1 from the tournament purse. If you do make the cut, you're getting something out of that.
Yep.
You're getting thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and once you make it into the weekend,
You're
good. Yeah, generally last place is at least 10, 15 grand.
Yeah.
For coming in last.
Yeah.
So you're doing okay.
Exactly. So, good luck to him. I don't know how sincere that apology was once I read the rest of the story and was like, oh, you got called out.
Yes,
and
that's
now.
generally how that works.
Exactly. So, I don't know what we need to do here, T, but it sounds like when men are left in charge of vagines, they sometimes turn into men. You know, and you can think about the MSU doctor
Yeah.
that was part of the Olympic.
Yeah.
Squad.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name? Dr.
Yeah.
Fingering all the chicks and stuff.
Dr. Diddle.
Dr. Diddle, yeah,
Whatever the
who's
hell.
in prison now.
Nasser, Larry
Nasser.
Nasser.
Yeah, didn't he get his ass beat? I think he got his ass whooped or stabbed or something not long ago in jail. It might have been while I was in Arizona. I read about
God
that.
bless prison justice.
Yeah, not a huge fan of that, but I get it. And there's not a lot of women who are.
Well,
gonna feel
you know
bad
what?
for him.
There's probably a few guys in there that have daughters,
yeah,
and they're not going to be too fond of a guy taking advantage of them like that.
yeah. I fingered Simone Biles.
I do not have a real problem with of him getting his ass kicked. Not the diddling of Simone Biles and the other girls.
Yeah. A judge has said he plans to sentence a former gynecologist. It's 20 years in prison for the sex abuse of dozens of patients over a couple decades. Look,
I mean, I question any guy that decides to be a gynecologist.
yeah.
Just right
It's
on
got
its
guy
face.
in the name of it, though.
Right on its face.
Yeah.
Like if you have endless choices.
Yeah.
What medical field you want to go into.
Be a hand doctor, foot doctor,
Any of
nose
them.
doctor.
Any of them. All of it. You decided, I want
Vagine.
vagina.
Yeah.
So I question every male gynecologist.
But that's true. However, once you become like that's your thing.
Yeah.
I just get into vagines. I play in fauna with vagines. That's my entire gig. Like I don't know what they're doing in there. We don't. I was trying to think of it, and we don't. Like it's weird to me that you need a special doctor to handle vagines.
Yeah.
Like we don't have cockthemologists.
No.
You know what I mean? Like we don't have someone who's just specifically focused on our cock and balls.
It's a pretty complicated piece of equipment, though.
Is it?
There's a lot going on in there. I mean, like ear, nose, and throat doctors. I have to go to a hand specialist for this. I mean, there's
Yeah, no, I get that.
not just any schmo, digging around down in there.
Yeah, but a regular doctor is going to handle your dick issue. You know what I mean? You're not. It's like, oof, got to
Again.
send you to a cockthemologist.
That's
because,
basic equipment. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going
think?
on there.
I mean, fluid comes out theirs, fluid comes out ours. Like it's,
Yeah, babies come out theirs too.
Yeah.
So there's that.
True.
And they bleed.
Yeah. Oh my God. Bleeding thing.
So yeah, like I said, it's a complicated piece of equipment.
G and I were talking to Amanda about that, the whole bleeding thing. And she made some smart ass comment about, yeah, you couldn't handle it if you guys bled out your dicks. And G just snaps and looks at her and he's like, if we were bleeding out our dicks, men would have fixed that shit by now. We would have found a way to fix that shit right away. We would have gotten all our best minds.
Priority number one.
Yes, we would have figured out how to fix bleeding cocks, man. That would not have been a continued thing. Just laugh my ass. Even the warden found that hilarious. She was like, "Yeah, you're probably right."
Probably right.
Ladies, take it upon yourselves. We don't know what those things are doing.
You're
They're
on the
a
clock.
fucking disaster.
There you go.
Figure it out, ladies. You don't like bleeding out your twat, then figure it out. You guys got doctors now. So anyways, Judge Dick Berman, he announced his intention at a sentencing hearing Monday for ex-Columbia doctor Bob Haddon. Berman also suggested he would sentence the 64-year-old Haddon to a lifetime of supervision after his release. I don't know if that means just when he's around vagines or just in general.
I don't know how bad it is. He might need 24-hour supervision.
Yeah.
He might not be allowed to get anywhere near a vagine.
Yeah. The judge described the case as lewd, serious, out of control, depraved, and extraordinary.
Those all seem to apply, yeah.
Yeah. Haddon leveraged his position of power for decades to sexually assault, rape, and molest patients in fake and predatory medical exams. A 20-year sentence would be roughly 4 times the term federal sentencing guidelines recommend. So those guidelines say 5 years.
Wow.
Like you diddle a bunch of vagines you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
5 years. And this judge is like, bullshit. No, 20.
Is it a chick judge?
No, it's Judge Dick.
Oh, the judge was Dick?
Dick Berman,
Okay,
yeah. Judge Dick Berman. Yeah, Bob Berman, or I'm sorry. Wait, Judge Dick Berman.
Okay, yeah, it is Judge.
Robert Haddon is the
doctor, okay.
Columbia.
Columbia University or Columbia,
No, University.
Okay.
Yeah. So the judge said the crimes Haddon committed merited a longer sentence given that his acts likely began in the 80s. So he's assuming there's tons of broads.
Sure.
Like, they assume he saw 6,000 to 8,000 vagines.
Okay.
I don't know how many of those were men's vagines.
Yeah.
But nowadays,
Well,
probably
none of them.
bunch.
I mean, those would all be in the last, 4 or 5 years.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Saw, I wonder how many he tasted.
Well, I don't know. I've often said that if I was a gynecologist, my practice would be very specialized. I would focus 18 to 34, I think, 18 to 28.
Yeah.
And I would lock my doors if I saw the wrong patient coming down the hall, like knocking on the door. It's like, oh, God, we are closed for the day. I do not want to see what's going on with her. But I'd give great care to my
You just need
actual
a PA
patients.
to take care of those because you got to have them.
Or hire a gynecologist who focuses on gross vagines and old vagines. The cobwebby ones.
Yeah.
Like I've got a specialist. Dude, no. Yeah, dust that thing off a little bit.
Get up in there.
He's got creak it open and like, oh Jesus, just screaming down the hallway. Hello, 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 hello. What are the dusters? What do they call those? The Swiffers?
Oh, yeah.
He's just got those all over his office, hanging all over. That's how he starts. Was just dust that thing off. Haddon had a technique whereby he would appear, and I got to tell you, as a wannabe gynecologist,
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't think of this first. Sounds like a brilliant move.
Let's see the technique.
Okay, so he'd be wrapping up his exam, and then as the nurse and the other specialists were leaving the room, he'd be like, "Oh shit, I forgot to check something else. Hold on, I'll be out in a minute." Close the door.
Back in.
Get these these narcs out of the room. You can't have them in the room. I apologize for the next sentence.
Jesus.
He would then put his tongue or ungloved fingers into their vagines while fondling their breasts, all under the guise of performing the exam.
Like the first chick that he grabbed a titty and went down on didn't immediately start sounding the horn.
There is a lawsuit, and there's going to be some payments because it sounds like a lot of bitches went.
I don't how does it get this far? How does it get this far? How is it not the very first one? Like, hey, what the fuck, dude? And who knows? Maybe he's exceptional. Maybe that he's a
very generous doctor.
Maybe they all just lean back, fucking legs in stirrups, eyes roll back into their back of their head, and just leaned into it.
Would this be a federal case requiring 20 years if you had a even semi good-looking female doctor or nurse who went, oh shit, meet you guys in a minute, I forgot one last thing, and then went to the base on your cock?
Somebody would fuck that up. Some asshole would screw that up.
Someone would, but it wouldn't be us.
Right? Why does Dr. fucking Deep Throat have a 3-year waiting list?
Yeah. She's not seeing any new patients, guys. You can keep calling every day. She just comes in.
Is there a cancellation?
I listened. I trusted him. One patient said, as she described how she was assaulted by the doctor who removed his rubber gloves and then used his hands and tongue to assault her.
Again, I don't know how this goes past one. Case.
Right. How do we get to 250?
Right? I mean, I can imagine the first, like, okay, well, that was a little weird. Like, he didn't have his glove on, if he goes in, and if he's just fucking, right? Like, making her squirt and shit,
he's squeezing your titties.
Right.
And he's using a tongue. Really? At some point, do we take the blame off the gynecologist? Here's what she said. All I could think was, how the hell do I get out of here? Oh, I don't know. Slap him in the fucking face and scream.
Kick him.
The
Yell.
nurse and the specialist just left the room.
Exactly.
They're on the other side of the door.
Right.
And this guy's eating your box out and squeezing your titties. Kick him in the forehead, dummy. What do you mean I didn't know what to do?
I didn't know how to get out. You're looking at the door.
Yeah.
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Plus, he's 68 years old.
They're so vulnerable, legs spread on the stirrups.
Yeah. This is one of the moments when you go Hulk, ladies.
Yes, there you go.
This
is your opportunity.
If you were a Bruce Banner or Ms. Banner and you could go Ms. Hulk, this is when you do it. I brought this up to Beth, and she was like, first off, she thought it was putrid. And I was like, yeah, I'll give you that. You know, whatever. I get
Nobody's
it.
saying it's,
She's
okay.
like, there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way that this dude was put his tongue on my vagina and I wouldn't kick him in the fucking forehead.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, Beth, you would beat the shit out of the guy and not stop. They would have to literally come in there and drag you off him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts in my mind.
Maybe he vets his patients very, very well.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, if you were doing this to toddlers, you'd go, okay, the kid doesn't know any better. It's trusting an adult. I get it.
Yeah. These are grown-ass women.
You're a grown-ass woman, and you're going back. Some of these people are recommending him to friends.
They repeat customers?
Yes.
Then I think my original statement stands. He was exceptional.
Yeah. I wrote down, sounds like a very generous doctor.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't even take the dick out and shoot a load or anything, right? This was all about the women.
I don't know. He might have come in his pants.
Well, are there any?
No.
Well, there's no allegations of this. This was all just for the ladies.
But he's probably wearing his smug ass white coat, which you couldn't see come in his underwear from that. Mm-hmm. Now, if he pulled his dick out and came on her leg, I mean, that's what would be next. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he's playing with your titties and eating your box out, why wouldn't he pull his dick out and come on your feet? The balls.
I can't believe
the gall, the
nerve. I can't believe it would get that far. I mean, sure. Let's assume there's one or two weak-minded people out there, or whatever, traumatized, whatever it is, that either were just terrified and paralyzed in fear. A few that just were like, fuck, nobody's ate my box in fucking 6 months. Get it, doc. Get after it. Here, fucking, right there.
Do you think
But outside of that, how did we get this far without one person kicking him in the fucking face?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think I'm shocked at this. How do you get a complaint that comes in, okay? Like, this is the doctor's, the office or whatever, and you go file a complaint with Columbia University, right?
Yep.
You go, yeah, the guy was fondling my tits while he ate my pussy out after he had the nurses and other specialists excuse themselves. Mm-hmm. Is that standard procedure? Am I missing something?
Yeah.
Because it felt like he just ate my pussy and played with my titties a little bit.
Sound like we got out of the medical realm here.
And they went, ah. You probably dreamt it. Get out of here, you crazy bitches.
Yeah.
So that could maybe happen once. You get some naive twat at the front desk who's like, nah, get out of here, you. The guy's great. After you get multiple complaints of this activity, he's eating my box and playing with my titties, and you still didn't do shit, at what point is it like the doctor probably thought he was good?
Well, sure. I mean,
You know what I mean?
Exactly. You at some
one
point
complains.
you have to feel invincible.
Yeah.
Absolutely bulletproof in what you're doing. That you've done it for so long and gotten away with it for so long.
Yeah.
That the thought of being caught doesn't even register.
Yeah. Remember that movies in like the 50s and stuff, and some guy would kind of up and down eye a woman and she might slap him in the face. You know, remember those? Like,
Yeah.
oh, how dare you? Looking. Psh. Like, how did we get to the point of fondling your titties and eating out your pussy in a gynecological exam? Even then, you don't slap him in the face?
Well, I mean, who's to say? Like Nasser is another example of that.
Yeah.
Under the guise of medical treatment, this is a little known technique I developed.
Yeah.
Called the shocker.
Yeah. So you didn't develop that, sir. We've all been using that technique. His was like something about the pelvic, like I can only get to it
Something,
through
yeah,
the vagine, like I got to
inside.
fist you.
Yes, get
and
him
then
in there.
massage your asshole and your vagine.
Yeah, found like some loophole in some medical book somewhere from
Yeah.
1942 and was like, here,
Yeah, or
see, it's
1832.
cited right here in this
Yeah.
medical journal as a legitimate technique. So
Like, sir, they also told you to drill holes in patients' heads to get the demons out.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you're going. He's like, I don't know, man. In 1843, it apparently worked for a lot of chicks. You do the fisting of the asshole and the vagine, and, you know,
hey,
fist bump, and all of a sudden they're ready for the Olympics.
some science doesn't change.
Yeah. So his defense attorney, good move, going with a female, Deirdre Von Dornum, argued prosecutors ignored the opinion of a psychiatrist who told the court Haddon would be unable to reoffend because he's no longer a gynecologist. Well, there we go.
Oh,
problem solved.
Well, yeah, exactly. What's the problem?
Yeah. Why are
no
we still
longer
talking
offend
about
anyone.
this? Yeah. She also said the U.S. Attorney's Office had absolutely disregarded Haddon's role as a primary caretaker of his disabled wife and disabled son.
Yeah, that's not going to go well.
No.
No, this guy's fucked.
The government's position is one level understandable. The pain Mr. Haddon has caused is immeasurable, you know, emotional harm and so forth.
Sure.
So the lawyer admits that. It is for that reason we do not ask for leniency for the 64-year-old first-time offender who has not committed a crime in over a decade and has extraordinarily compelling family circumstances.
Hold on. First-time offender.
Yeah. 245 first-time offenses.
Yes, and hasn't committed a crime in over 10 years?
Yeah. He's been hanging around the courts for a bit.
What happened just over 10 years ago?
He licked the wrong vagine, obviously, or after 240 complaints, they finally listen to one of these
Or
broads.
is this hasn't happened in 10 years?
I guess.
Oh.
So this is the
Statute
sentencing.
of limitations has got to run out on this shit.
Yeah.
It's not murder.
It's probably like Bill Cosby, too. He's looking at these broads 10 years later. Bah, it's not what she looked like when I fingered her. You know, like Cosby's looking at shit from 60 years ago. He's like,
Oh, God. What was I thinking?
trust me, she was a knockout back when I was drugging her and fingering her back in the fucking 60s and the 50s. Now, it was scary. It was scary to see his team photo lineup at 60 years later.
Yeah.
No offense.
I'd like to see the
ladies.
before and afters.
Lawyer said her client is enduring harsh jail conditions where inmates make threats and extort him. He's got to turn over his commissary money. They're stealing his lunch money in jail.
Yeah. Well, this guy's not going to have any real friends in there either.
Yeah, probably not. Or is he going to be the man?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, he'll be the woe man.
Well, I mean, if he was licking vagines of toddlers, I could see they don't like kid fuckers. But if you're just like, yeah, dude, I was grabbing some titties and eating some boxes, what are you gonna do?
No, I don't think so.
Got a little carried away, I admit. That's why I'm in here.
Yeah.
You don't think anyone's gonna fist bump him a little bit? I hope not.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, he's probably going to be huge in the pedo ring, you know, and maybe, I haven't been in prison, but I don't know if there's like the whole raper section, you
Yeah.
know, if that's like their own little clique. But I'm betting that's not going to go well.
How would you have reacted? Would you put any blame on your wife for this? Would it be total victim thing? Like, I'm not saying like go beat him up or anything like that, but And the reason I ask is because one of the accusers, and I don't know if her titties were fondled while her box was eaten or if she was just fingered without a glove.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Somewhere in between you.
Somewhere in there was Evelyn Yang, wife of Andrew Yang.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Well, I would be curious as to how that didn't come up in conversation that night.
Yeah.
You know, honey, got to tell you.
You know that thing you do once in a while, Andrew?
I had an appointment with the gyno today, and it seemed a little weird. You think it's normal for him to, fucking lick my fucking box and squeeze my titty and
pretty sure it was rock.
Go 2 knuckles deep? Is that normal? You think is that a medical procedure?
Wait, you told the doctor about what we do on the weekend? Or you're saying the doctor did that to you? Yeah. Wait, the doctor did that to you?
I have questions.
I'm no gyno, but
yeah.
Former Broadway dancer Lori Kanyak.
I think there's a lot of women that went back.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, there were. Former Broadway dancer Lori Kanyak at trial, women testified in graphic
And they didn't do the
detail.
women that didn't want it any favors. Let's be clear about that.
Well, I was going to ask you, because we know how women are. Women look at other women a lot of times and like, fuck that bitch. You know, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, of course she married him for his money, his wallet. They'll talk shit behind their girls, but they won't be happy for their friend who's in a better circumstance than her. Yeah. They'll be jealous. You know, we've seen that a lot. Not
Cunty,
all of them.
you think?
Tad cunty.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would call it. I think that's the legal definition,
Yeah,
is cunty at times. Do you think there are some patients of his that were like, he never licked my box and fondled my titties?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think there's a little bit of jealousy?
What's wrong with my box?
Yeah.
I'm very lickable.
Yeah, does mine stink?
I have great tits. Why wouldn't he grab my tits?
Yeah, why didn't he fucking go double knuckle deep in me?
Maybe you were throwing out that not me vibe. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe want to look yourself in the mirror,
exactly.
sweetheart.
You're not
find out what kind of stink face you got that he didn't even want to touch your box.
Yeah, you don't appear available.
Women testified in graphic detail how Haddon repeatedly forced them to submit to sexualized titty exams and touch their vagines in ways that seem sexual rather than for a medical purpose.
Well, yeah.
You know, tomato at that point, though.
I mean are any of them doctors? Are they
exactly?
Are they, in any position to say?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that's taking some liberties there. Like, I get it. If you got your box licked and you weren't thrilled with it, fine.
We got to make sure this thing works. You got to take it out and start it up. You got to blow the fucking carbs out.
That's what I would do. Take it for a spin around the block.
Sure.
If I was a gyno, it's probably a good reason I'm not. But I'd take that thing for a spin,
use
especially
it or
in
lose
my
it,
office.
as they say.
Yeah. Amy Yoni was employed by Columbia as a research nurse in the Department of Cardiology. She was a victim of Haddon herself for nearly 12 years.
Okay. And then now she works for him?
Okay, Amy, hold on. So you were a victim, quote unquote, victim for 12 years.
Uh-huh.
And you feel intense guilt now because she referred some of her best friends and others to Haddon.
And she's saying that this was going on during those 12 years?
Yeah. At some point,
like I said,
when does the victim become not the victim anymore? If you're referring your best girlfriend...
wider. When they grab the back of his head, that's when they no longer become the victim.
When they won't let go of his ears, yeah. When they start squirting the back of the fucking exam room, yeah. So I'm sorry, Amy.
It doesn't go across the board, but it's sort of like the Deshaun Watson thing. Where now all of a sudden they all have to come out and be like, "Oh, I was a victim. Oh,
yeah.
he put his dick on my face.
Yeah.
And down your throat.
Yeah. Into your ass.
Right. Oh, I can get money for that? Okay, yes, for sure. But
Amy,
there's all the ones that were like into it. They're like, it's not okay? Oh, yeah, okay. Because now all the questions come up like, you've been seeing him for 20 years. He didn't never touched you?
He did. He did. How much is Columbia paying? They're paying $240 million to 250 victims?
Of course,
You're goddamn right I was a victim.
Yeah, for sure.
Amy, you're employed by Columbia, a research nurse in the Department of Cardiology, so she's working on the heart. And she's been seeing this dude for 12 years and feels all this guilt now because she turns over her best friends and all her girlfriends to see this guy who eats in a box for free. I'm sorry, Amy, I just don't buy your story. Like, fine, cut her the check, but whatever.
Yeah.
She says... He walks into the courtroom and he acts like he's at happy hour. He waves, he looks around. I think he's a true sociopath.
But looking at all the chicks going,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
I remember that
one.
box.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. The Bush bomb on that one. Remember that one? That one never shaved.
Oh, that's the mole over there.
Yeah. Oh, I dug deep into that one.
Right.
That one, that cavern never ended. That tunnel went deep.
That one was labia majora.
No menorah on her. That was straight majora. Hadn't treated between 6,000 and 8,000 women or vagines, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 6,000 to 8,000 vagines. He's probably seen some fucking disaster. Blue waffles come into play.
I'm sure, yeah.
When you're dealing with 6,000 to 8,000 vagines over a career,
There's got to be some absolute nightmares.
Yeah.
Absolute nightmares.
yeah, absolute like X-rated nightmares. Just shit
Right?
that would haunt your
And
dreams.
I mean, listen. Let's give the guy a little credit for getting back on the horse. Could you imagine having to fucking deal with a blue waffle?
Yeah.
And then having the fucking balls to get right back on the horse
Yeah.
and get right back into that next one that came in?
Do you think he schedules it so it's like he brings in the 18, 19, 20-year-olds followed by Nana and then give me another 19-year-old quick. I need to wash that fucking
Maybe.
88-year-old off me.
Right.
That fucking
Start and end your day with, a little biscuit.
Yeah, yeah. If you bookended it with a couple of 19s.
Yeah, start your day off right, finish it on a high note.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Not a bad way to go.
Obviously you're going to want a couple early 20s right before lunch. You're not going to want to go nana at lunch.
No, God.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to lose your appetite.
Yeah, you're going to go 22, 21 lunch, 21 and then you could throw a nana in there.
Yeah.
That's what I would do anyways. The institutions have agreed to pay more than $236 million to settle civil claims by more than 200 former patients. So they each get $1 million. Haddon's lawyers did not dispute that he molested patients, but they said he was already prosecuted for those crimes in state court, where he pled guilty in 2016, that he had abused several women. The plea required him to surrender his medical license, but he served no time behind bars. Yikes. That's got to be doubly offensive.
So what's this new case? What's the new charge he's catching?
Federal charges.
I wonder why.
I don't know. More women.
Did he
They're finding
cross-
out there's hundreds of victims.
So did he cross state lines? What makes it federal? I don't know.
I think he did. I think he did have some that crossed state lines.
that might be
I
the
think
issue.
that's it.
Yeah,
And they're
there you
throwing
go.
trafficking charges and shit like that. So he must have seen some really hot vagine he wanted to get his tongue on.
Yeah.
But she's in, whatever surrounding state or something.
It's over at
Pennsylvania.
Yale. I got to go over there.
Yeah, exactly. He built rapport with the victims in a private office decorated with pictures of his children and put them at ease by asking about their personal lives and talking about his family. My doctor's grooming me. She does the same thing.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Yeah. She's got pictures of the fam. She asked me how my day's been, how my life's been.
All right. Well, let me know when it takes a turn.
Eventually, he sought sexual gratification when he asked victims detailed, inappropriate, and medically unnecessary questions and provided unsolicited advice and commentary about their bodies, pubes, masturbation, sexual activity, sex toys, porn, and sexual partners.
Oh, yeah. This guy just started going down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
he
It just
got
got
in
worse
deep.
and worse.
He
and
got
worse,
in deep, didn't he?
Went in with the best of intentions. But,
Yeah.
I mean, who can blame a guy? It's got fucking vag in the face all day long.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
right? Boys will be boys.
Yeah. I think it's time we just go, you know what? Guys, you can't be trusted with the keys to the kingdom.
I told you, I think that's fair. I question anybody that chose that in the first place.
Yeah.
You got a little perv in you. You're not fucking fooling me.
It's the same kind of thing as the fatherless guy that wants to lead the Boy Scouts into the woods.
Sure.
That guy where you're like,
yeah.
he's just volunteering to take all these kids into the woods. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No red flag there.
He just wants to wear the uniform. Okay. All right. Sure.
I just like to tie knots.
Yeah. Like teaching kids how to use a knife, pocket knife.
Exactly. At the
Yeah.
throat when I tell them to blow me.
I think we should just have vagines handle vagines.
Probably smart.
Well,
does that
should we
mean we
take
only get-
lesbians out of the mix too?
Does that mean we only get dicks treating dicks, so we can't get a chick on a dick?
No,
anymore?
because there's nothing a doctor could do to your dick that would be like, you'd be like, oh God. As long as it wasn't a dude and you're, knocked out and you wake up and he's riding your cock, like that would be traumatizing.
Yeah.
But if you've got at least a semi-hot doctor and she goes down on you like that, at the end of to end the exam.
Right.
Like when you were a kid, they'd give you a lollipop.
Sure.
You know, as an adult, your lollipop is she just goes to the base, to the hilt, all the way down.
I got to find a new doctor.
Yeah, be great.
Yeah.
But there would never be a
I'm really
federal
getting
complaint.
underserviced.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, especially if that behavior's going on.
Yeah. It's out there. Well, I missed it in high school, and I'm missing it with doctors. This is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Right. I'm probably going to get raped in my fucking old folks' home.
Oh, I'm getting slapped and raped
Yeah.
for sure. Fingered. Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of which, everybody loves top shelf service, world-class experience, and of course, communication and support after the sale. Don't settle for ordinary. Go see our friends and original sponsors, Zott, Ford, and Holly. When you work with Gabara, Anthony, and the whole crew, you'll get all that, plus the yummiest deals in the D, starting with Zott Ford's employee pricing for everyone on remaining 22 F-150s with 0% financing. But you gotta hurry. Plus, the team at Zott wants to help you out of your high-interest rate car loan and replace it with 0% financing and up to $4,500 in rebates. Or if you bought out your lease and you're ready for something fresh, we can slide you out and get you an extra $1,000 on your trade-in. Finally, Zott Ford still has their famous sign and drive leases where you can lease a new 23 Bronco Sport, Explorer, or F-150 with payments just over $400 a month, sign and drive. See their smorgasbord of deals and their delicious inventory at dealsinthed.com.
I will admit that last story we just did was probably rather offensive to some.
I'm sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It always pains us to do those tough stories, but
Yeah.
if we're going to cover the news each day, we like to cover it top to bottom, you know,
Front to back,
Yeah,
stem to stern.
yeah, we really do.
Tip to taint.
And we don't just gloss over like, oh, there was a settlement and these many victims get paid this. Back to you, Bill. We like to get into the nuts and bolts of things, and sometimes it can get rather disturbing, and we're aware of that.
Yeah. They're the ones that put the details out there.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
didn't make any of that up.
No, none of that was made up, and including the eating out. They didn't say eating out box.
But listen, I mean, you draw your own conclusion. Put his mouth on it.
No. They said tongue,
Literally tongue.
and
There you go.
and ungloved fingers. Those were
Yeah.
their words, not ours.
Yeah.
Just putting that out
Well,
there.
that makes it
we
more
didn't-
personal. It's too clinical with a glove on.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, if you're listening to the show, you in no way can take any offense to anything that we just said there because we said no offense.
Oh,
So we didn't mean it.
it's the best way to start it, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We should also mention radiofor1.com. Best way to support this show is to go there, get yourself a little bit of merch. The Amazon link, please use it. Use it all the time. Amazon Canada, our friends, our neighbors to the north. My Pillow as well, mystore.com. The TDC promo code works, and I notice the numbers are dropping there. People are not buying as many My Pillows and slippers, and 2.0 is great. So please continue to buy that stuff. Also, we'll link to our Patreon page. We appreciate the support. We need it. And yeah, so let's do an Ask T. Roy.
Well, Ask T. Roy is brought
Okay.
to you by. I slacked way big today.
No, you're
Just
doing
let it
great.
go. Yeah.
No, we're doing
the Ask
great.
T. Roy segment of today's show is brought to you by The Party Pub. If you want to impress everyone at your grad party, wedding reception, poker night, MMA viewing party, or for any other reason, then you need to contact The Party Pub.
This is the season, too, man.
It is. 'Tis the season. It's a massive, inflatable pub that can be set up wherever you choose. They also have all the best party games, beanbag toss, badminton, giant inflatable screens, axe throwing, and much, much more.
Yeah, I like the mini axe throwing.
It's a good one.
So cool.
Yeah. You can call Jeff, El Jefe, at 586-524-6701, or visit thepartypubrentals.com and take your event to the next level.
Dear T. Roy, my daughter is 40,
Okay.
and she is a lousy conversationalist. She will answer questions, but her conversation always turns to herself and her narrow specific interests. She never asks me or others about ourselves, and when she starts talking about herself, there is no stopping her. She seems to need to dominate every conversation. She has always been this way, and I think it's partly because she's anxious. She was bullied as a child, and I think that contributes as well. When she was little, her dad and I talked about it, but he's very hands-off and didn't want to address it. Because of that, her style never changed, and now I think we made a mistake. Can you suggest a way I could help her, even now, to become better at conversation? Smooth talker in California.
Well, you already fucked up, Mom. She's 40.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about old dogs and new tricks.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That you missed the boat on this. You had one job was to not raise a
Narcissistic shitbag.
egotistical fucking maniac, and you failed miserably. Apparently,
I'm going to guess. Can I throw something in, not to dominate your
Sure,
subject
please,
here?
yes, of
but
course.
I'm going to assume people put up with a lot of shit out of her mouth if she was really hot when she was 20.
It's possible.
You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
Usually, if it's not
But
something
usually the hot ones don't get
stunning-
bullied. Just going to say, I'm putting that out there right now.
She could have been bullied in 3rd grade, though.
Possible.
Could have been something
Late
dumb
bloomer.
like that. Yeah. But guys especially will put up with a lot of nonsense, garbage pouring out of some twat's mouth
Yeah.
if she's hot. Just saying.
Sure.
So
I'm curious. What the hell was it? Something in California?
it was, let's see, hold on. Smooth Talker.
Smooth Talker.
California. Says her.
Stupid fucking name, by the way.
They're all stupid.
Awful. I mean, at least that's not even relevant. Smooth Talker. And, no.
In other words, she sucks at being a smooth talker, but I, in fact, am a smooth
Allegedly.
talker. Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, I have this conversation with your daughter, dude. What can I do? Tell her she's a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
Tell her I'm sick about you. That's all you care about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have a conversation with her. And, like I said, old dog, new tricks. That ship
Yeah.
has sailed. It's too late. You're not changing her.
I find myself, as I get older, trying to be more aware of that. There's
Of which part?
Well, of there. I don't know if you know this, T, but people in this line of work that like to hear themselves talk and want strangers' approval by talking into a microphone tend to think highly of themselves in a lot of respects and can tend to talk about themselves quite a bit and find themselves not inquiring about how your day was.
You don't say.
Yeah. And so I found myself certainly more now, like really trying legit, like, no, Mom, how are you doing? You know, you cut your finger almost as bad as T-Roy the other day. Is that healing up? You doing all right?
Yeah, that was bad. I was worried about her.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good quarter of an inch long, that scratch on her finger.
Yeah. It almost broke the surface.
It almost did break the surface, which, I mean, we see what can happen when it breaks the surface. Yours look like a hand vagine.
We're lucky we still have her.
Yeah. But it's like she's so often asking about me and this doctor's appointment and that and this. And it's like, no, I'm going to ask her if she needs a hand with something or if she, you know. So I'm trying to be more aware of that. Not
Good for you.
You know, I think I ask you quite regularly how you're doing, what you have going on. Generally interested in my friends and what they're doing.
You don't ever remember what I said, but you asked me.
No. But I mean it, and I try. My memory blows. I admit it. It sucks. It's part of whatever I'm dealing with. No, I know you are. So there are, you know, and I don't think I was ever that person that just absolutely dominated, like me. No, I wasn't that guy. But I do know some of those people.
They do exist.
Yeah, and I don't know. I would hope friends would tell me, like, dude, really, again with you in this?
Oh, you want me to start telling you?
Yeah, no, not you, because you will.
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, I thought we all just agreed we were just going to let it slide.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
It's weird because when we have people over here, because of what we do, a lot of times listeners are here and they love hearing us tell stories about shit. And so it's like, well, I didn't ask them to tell a crazy story about their growing up years, you know?
Right.
But they seem to enjoy all that stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Who knows? Who's
Goes
to
with the
say what's good or
territory.
bad?
Yeah.
Right.
True. So, yeah, she sounds like an annoying twat to be around, especially if she's doing
Yeah.
a good 40.
Exactly. But, you know, just start dropping hints. Every time she starts talking about her, be like, Jesus fucking.
You
again?
Jesus, here we go.
Oh, okay.
All
yeah.
right.
Oh, let me guess. You.
All right, we'll do one more. It's a short one. Dear
Okay.
T-Roy, my husband
God damn it.
of many years has an offensive eating habit. When finishing his meal, he takes the plate or bowl, puts it to his mouth as one would a drinking glass, and shovels the remains into his mouth. As he does it, he makes little sucking movements with his lips like an animal lapping food from a bowl.
Hungry hippos.
I find it revolting, but how can I address it without offending him? Annoyed in Albuquerque.
I fucking
Again.
hate people. You know how you do this? The very first time he picks up that plate and goes, starts shoveling the fucking gristle into his mouth, you go, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't ever do that again. That is awful.
Yeah.
No more, ever.
Not at a restaurant?
No.
Not in the bedroom by yourself?
Right. No. But this being your husband of many years, I assume you've let get away with this scot-free for many years.
Yeah.
And so now all of a sudden you want to say something? No, you have to say something in the beginning. You can't let this type of behavior happen
brew
over and over and over and over in every circumstance of this
Right.
stuff. Now, how do I change it? Well, you can't now, dipshit.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
What if it's this, though? You know those, like, when you're in the start of a relationship and those little quirks you find adorable. Oh,
Yeah.
my God, the way he sips his coffee. And then you get a few years down the road and you want to fucking strangle him when he slurps his coffee the way
That is a true thing. Yeah.
So could it be that, oh, my God, it was kind of adorable
I
the
can't
way
imagine
he was,
that ever being endearing
Well,
like that.
but maybe it
The
was.
slurping noises.
Yeah, it's just when she said that, it is disgusting.
Listen, I'm all for, the end of a bowl of fucking cereal or soup or something and pick that up and get that last bit of goodness in there.
Yeah,
Sure.
Especially if it's a sugary cereal and that milk
Yeah.
just turns into fucking
God, that's the heaven.
candy.
Heaven.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like the end
Never
of,
gets old.
The end of Fruity Pebbles where there's just
Oh.
the random soggies that you can't really scoop up and you just take it down like
Try and get 'em with your
like a
spoon.
stew. Yeah.
Try and get them with your spoon. You'd be better off with a fucking chopstick trying to get
Exactly.
those
Just
things
take it
together.
all down.
No, you got to do that. What you don't have to do is the fucking slurping noises.
Right.
So those little idiosyncrasies that people maybe found their partner endearing because of them. I don't know what they're called. They're not idiosyncrasies, but little quirks, perhaps. I definitely know, and I know you personally have found shit adorable about girls that you want to strangle them for years later.
Yeah.
And I've been the same way where
That
it's
happens.
like, that was fucking cute 5 years ago. Now I want to punch your teeth in when I hear you do that. So it could be one of those, but yeah, I think you're right. And a lot of these things are becoming irrelevant because it's like, yeah, just a simple conversation. Why are you reaching out to T-Roy?
Right, exactly. The conversation to me should have been the conversation you had with them.
Yeah,
Like,
with that
hey,
grizzly
honey,
bear you married
listen,
40 years ago.
I got to tell you, that thing you do with the plate really bothers me.
Yeah.
I know you've done it a long time, and I've bit my tongue for a long time, but it just fucking gets my goat.
Yeah.
Is there any way you could possibly stop doing that for me?
Yeah.
See how that goes.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's just a little something off the cuff.
Try
you know?
it. Try it. And if you end up in the emergency room with a fork stuck in your forehead, then
Yeah.
you know. Lesson learned.
Then you're just
You
going to
know,
have to deal with it.
Yeah. Take the slurping or take the beating.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Yeah, it's your fault for waiting 40 years to say it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. For Troy, from Doug.
Oh, boy.
I'll wait. You're not going to give him the full version? And we're gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a best friend a hug. Doug, Doug, oh, Doug, Dougie, Dougie, Doug, Doug. A muffaletta is one of the greatest sandwiches in the world. Don't let the simplicity confuse you. This is a game changer.
Doug, I apologize. I regret
Anyways,
giving you a song.
Troy.
Olive slide.
Anyways, Troy, I hate olives and I love muffalettas. Try it. Trust me, I'm a fat guy. I know good food. This could be one of those things like I love a good steak, and sometimes they have the wine brown sauce that's a mushroom sauce. And it's swimming in mushrooms, and I dip the steak in it. I fucking despise mushrooms. Hate them. Hate them. But I can get through it for that. Don't put them on my pizza. Don't put them on my burger. Disgusting.
Yeah.
But I can dip in that sauce that's a mushroom sauce. What if this olive thing, kind of like my mom's cheese ball, you like that, and it does have some olive specks in it. Not a lot.
Yep, does have a little bit. I
And
like
she
olive
grinds
oil.
them up. Olive oil. There you go.
Right. Boy,
I feel like we got to try a muffaletta. This guy claims it's a game changer.
there's a lot of good sandwiches out there.
There
that
are.
Don't have fucking olives on it.
Yeah.
So this would have to like. Have
You know
a
what I'm
happy
looking
ending
for?
or something.
You know what I'm looking for these days? A good meatball sub.
Yeah.
And I want a good Philly cheesesteak. I've never had one. I like the Cheese Whizzy, whatever they call that sort of cheese.
Velveeta?
Maybe it's just Velveeta. But there was one at Which sandwich place. They used to have one, and they took it off the menu. And I went there and I tried it. Where it's a pain in the ass to order there. And I loved it. And I went back like 3 days later to get another one, and they were like, "Yeah, we took it off the menu." I was like, "Sons of bitches." So do I have to go to Philadelphia to get a good, decent
Apparently.
Like Philly cheesesteak, or can someone recommend a place? Also, a good meatball sub. I don't want to go to Subway.
No, God, no. Fuck. I
said
mean,
that
that's
on
an
purpose.
oxymoron.
Just saying.
Yeah. I'll do some meatballs pretty soon.
Oh, yeah, your meatballs.
But I'll do. But not that. I'll do meatball sub.
Yeah. Oh, fuck
Or
yeah.
I'll make
Wait.
meatballs and I'll put some off
Do
to the
provolone
side,
and-
then we can do it with a sub on one. And
Yeah.
then make the party meatballs too.
You did that before, and they were spectacular.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
How could you forget?
I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget. Hey, send us your emails. Walters@DetroitCast.com. We'll leave it there for the day. Thank you, T. Roy.
Yes, sir.
We will be back tomorrow with an all-new show, and then after the show, I believe Forey's coming over, dropping some food for us.
Yeah, boy.
Yep. You're going to get your
back
stinking
court.
ass from the back court. Yeah.
All right.
Clark's.
I'll do his read tomorrow.
Is that where it is?
It is in Clarkston.
Clarkston, yeah.
Yep.
Fantastic.
In the Deer Lake Athletic Club.
Sure.
Something.
We'll give him a real.
Yeah.
We'll give him a real.
We'll give the
read
real
tomorrow.
plug tomorrow.
But yeah, he's coming by. He's bringing you some gross fish thing, I think, and he's bringing me steaks.
Delightful.
And I said steaks plural because I require them with a great. Their zip sauce is phenomenal. The bread,
Oh, I can't wait for the bread.
I'm
Wait
already
for the bread.
coming in my pants to the bread.
I should get the meatballs, and we can stuff that bread with the meatballs.
Oh, I bet that'd be good.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
I know. That's what I said.
Oh man, tomorrow's gonna be a good day, T. All right, everybody, we love you. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, and happy birthday, Zach.